guys, hi beautiful people, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. Long time no see guys. It's not been easy juggling both my career and YouTube. Like I told you guys, I've been trying to strike a balance. It's not been easy. I have a lot of work on my hands. Okay, so most times when I want to come on live or when I want to film content, something will just come up. But I said today I must film this particular video because I have a lot to talk about concerning the Face of Hope Nigeria pageant. Okay, so the last video I did, I think I told you guys that yes, I'm going to talk more about my pre-arrival favorites. Okay, and that previous video I said something. Right. So yes, yes, this video is about my pre-arrival leaderboard, but I have a lot of things to talk about this particular pageant. And you guys know that they just bought this franchise about 2 months ago, and so far so good. They have exceeded my expectations. Okay, this particular pageant and the ownership, they are on top of things right now. And like I said before, this particular franchise, they are they are the franchise holders for Miss International Nigeria. So whoever wins this pageant will go on to represent Nigeria later this year in Japan, at the Miss International pageant taking place later this year in Japan. Okay, so it's a big pageant. Okay, it's with the number of persons that applied, like I said the last time, you should know that a lot of persons are interested in this particular pageant because of the incentives as well. The incentives is very, very mouth-watering. It's very, very encouraging. I talked about this in a previous live stream. Okay, so you guys go and watch that live stream where I dissected the incentives for the winners and the runner-ups. Okay, so like I said, these people have exceeded my expectations because can you imagine the bevy of beauties and special guests of honors that will be gracing this particular pageant. We have the first runner-up of Miss International, Yolanda Chimbirami, sorry, all the way from Zimbabwe. She of course, she's an African queen, and she is going to be present at the pageant. Okay, she was first runner-up of Miss International last year, and also another special guest, Catalina Duque, the current Miss International 2025 from Colombia, is going to be, the special guest of honor in this particular event. And I'm like, this particular franchise, they have exceeded my expectations. I can't wait for this, these queens to be here in Nigeria. This is the first time that we are inviting a current, a current queen, a current international queen to crown our representative here in Nigeria. So his history has been how will I put it, like history. This is the first time we're having international queen. So history, this has made history, okay, in Nigeria. And a lot of we pageant bloggers, we are happy about this recent development because this is what we've been clamoring for, that we have international queens come to our national pageants and be present during the crowning of our representatives. So this is a very good one for Face of Hope. I would say applaudissez to the management of Face of Hope. You guys are really, really doing it for me. You guys are really, really on top of your game, and I pray and hope that the pageant will end up being a huge success. Okay, so yes, we would like to attend the event because there's a lot of people that are going to be there, and of course you guys know our hosts Busola Ayola and Luis Puteles. Anyways, without further ado, let me get into my top 5 pre-arrival leaderboards for Face of Hope pageant 2026. So yes, my top 5 pre-arrival leaderboard, starting from the bottom. Yes, in 5th place I have Benue State, humbly represented by Daisy Terkaa. She is the current Nigerian Carnival Queen and a model, actress, and philanthropist. So far so good. Daisy has been topping the charts, the voting charts ever since the revelation of the 30 contestants, and being the fact that have gone through her bio. She's one person that we should look at in this particular pageant. She's very, 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 very popular amongst the pageant community. So I feel like Daisy is one person that will definitely make an impact in this year's competition. And yeah, she has the beauty, she has the face. And one thing again I would say about Miss International looks at the your skin color, how flawless it is, and there's a lot of features that she has that I feel like it's in line with what Miss International is looking for. Okay, in as much as Miss International has not really been fair to the African queens, over time, but with the crowning of Zimbabwe as first runner up last year, I feel like Africa is beginning to gain that momentum in Miss International. So I think Daisy has what it takes, to be amongst the top 5, going into this competition. Okay, so yeah, I think that she can pull strings, during the competition. So in 4th place, I have Gabriella Osa. She's representing Abia State, and this lady, right from the time that I checked her out, I felt like I just knew instantly that this lady, she's going to make waves in this pageant. She's very beautiful. She has this beautiful clear skin, which is in line with what Miss International wants. Because in as much as you have the body and the physique, your skin has to be very clear. Okay, and this lady has clear skin, beautiful fair skin, and she has very, very, very nice features. She's very beautiful, very, enchanting and very elegant. Okay, so these are features that are in line with what Miss International wants. So I feel like I feel like Gabriella, she's gonna be amongst the, favorites, or she's going to do very well in the competition. Okay, so let's look out for her. Going forward, in 3rd place, I have Miss Imo State, humbly represented by Inuku Sophia. She's a model, a runway model, and she's a creative director as well. So looking at her bio, I feel like Inuku rather, she has all it takes to do very well in the competition, because she's very tall, she has a very good physique, and she has a very static, how would I put it, face. Her face is very well refined, well defined, and I think she's one of I think she fits into Miss International prototype. Okay, so let's look out for Inuku Sophia. I think she's going to do very well, although she's not been ranking in the voting category, but I still feel like she has a chance in the competition. In 2nd place, I have Genevieve Okatu, representing Anambra State. Okay, so this lady, for some reasons, I feel like Genevieve is one person that has been in the pageant space for quite some time, having represented Nigeria in Miss Supranational in the year 2023. She has a clear skin, she has the body as well, but about her work, she does not really have that perfect work, but I feel like she has she fits into Miss International prototype, being the fact that she has a very clear skin, she's very elegant as well. So I feel like Genevieve is one person that we should not overlook, and she's also topping the charts and the voting category. She's one of the top 3 highest. She's among the top 3 and the voting category, highest voting category. Okay, so she's doing very well, topping the charts as well. And so far, I think Genevieve is one candidate that is going to go very far in the competition, if not win it. Okay, so let us be on the lookout for her, because I feel like she's one of the favorites, or top favorites, if not the most favorite, going into this competition. Drum rolls, drum rolls, drum rolls. In 1st place, we have Damilola Bolarinde, representing Lagos State. Okay, well, Damilola needs no introduction. We all know her. We all know her, exploits in Miss Grand International. How she did very well representing the country in Miss Grand International. And Damilola has been, a very, very good pageant veteran. She's the current Miss. She's the first runner-up of Miss Universe Nigeria, and so far so good. Damilola is on top of the list of all the pageant bloggers to win this competition, and currently she's topping the charts as well, the voting charts. Okay, so Damilola is a very, very strong candidate going into this competition, and I feel like she can win the crown. Okay, she has what it takes to win the crown and represent Nigeria in Miss International. But at the same time, look at the prototype of Miss International, I would say probably she has about 60%, of what Miss International is looking for, like I told you guys earlier. But I still feel like, she is the most popular person going into the competition, and given the fact that she has international, international pageant audience, international, fans, I think she's Nigeria's best bet to go very far in the competition. All right, so yes, these are my top 5 favorites, going into the competition, top 5 favorites pre-arrival leaderboards, and definitely this list might change when the girls arrive camp. Okay, so this is not the final list, or this is not my final favorites. Okay, so when the girls arrive camp and the competition, is gearing up, definitely this list is going to change, okay, based on the performances of the ladies. All right, so this is it for this particular video. I'll see you all in my next video coming up very soon. Bye.